Step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Before the Horn podcast. I am your host, Dino, as well. With me hosting, I got my boy, Day.
Yo, let's get it.
As y'all know, I told y'all before, my boy, Lil, he has some things he got to take care of. He's been, busting his tail, doing some things. So he's going to be taking some time out. But we still here to bring y'all the content. We still here to talk about what we need to talk about. And as y'all know, the NFL playoffs is set. It is set. We know who's in. We know who's out. We know the first half of the draft picture, all that, man. But we're going to talk to y'all about Wildcard Weekend. We're going to get y'all predictions, who we think going to win, who we think's out. We got to get that to y'all, man. It's one of the biggest weeks of the year, if not the biggest. On top of that, y'all know season ends and a lot of things shake up with players and coaches. Coaches usually are the first ones to go. It's been a lot of coaches that's been parting ways, a lot of coaches that's been fired in the last week. We're going to give y'all those too. We're going to jump back to college football. Y'all know the National Championship just went on. Y'all know who was the winner on that. We're going to give y'all reactions, what we seen from that, what really took that game away and got Michigan the dub. Biggest one to stick with college football, Nick Saban is out at Alabama, man. He's retiring. The GOAT, we're going to be talking about all of that, man. We're going to talk about what's next for Alabama, what's next for college football in general, because if you know, man, Alabama has been one of the top schools in the nation for the last 20 years. So we got to talk about that one. And then to end up the show, as y'all seen, another heartbreaker, man, Ja Morant, as he was getting in the groove, just came back from the suspension. He got injured, out for the season, man. He has a torn labrum. It sucks to see, but we also want to be talking about what's next for him, what's next for the Memphis Grizzlies. We got to cover that too. Day, kick us away with our first topic.
All right, as you guys know, you guys heard, we got a packed episode, but we're going to kick it off with NFL Super Wildcard Weekend. We got a lot of great games for this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to end it off. But let's kick it off first. The Cleveland Browns are traveling to Houston to face the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans have won their AFC South, and the Browns enter the AFC as the 5th seed. Who you got for this one, bro?
Bro, all these games are going to be tough. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel like it's any game that I could pick up for sure. Like, yeah, they got this in the bag. I'm going to be honest with you. But y'all know me. Y'all know how I feel about CJ Stroud. Y'all know how I've been on Houston ever since then. I'm going with the Texans in this, bro. I feel like the Texans, even though they have a young team, young coaching staff that's never been there, team that's never really been there. I mean, they have a lot of maturing to do, but they have done it in the last couple weeks of the season. We've seen it, bro. They have looked like a mature team. Nico Collins has been looking like a number one receiver. Like they still have some holes with injuries, but I'm sticking with the Texans, bro. I'm gonna go with the Texans in this. I feel like they're gonna get the job done. Even though the Browns, bro, they've been looking great with Joe. They've been looking great with Joe Flacco, man. So it's a tough one to really say, but I'm gonna go with who I really like more as a team, and I'm gonna go with the Texans. I'm gonna be honest with you.
At first, I had Houston. Then I switched to the Browns. Then I kept going back and forth. I just couldn't really decide. Like, yeah, the Browns who are hot. Joe Flacco, he came in, took over for Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was 100% underwhelming this year. Sucks to see that as a Deshaun Watson fan, but it happens. Flacco in his career is great in the playoffs. The Browns defense is outstanding, but they're 3-6 on the road. And Stroud, they've been stringing these last handful of games to win the AFC South after the Jags choked it. Cleveland beat them on Christmas Eve. And honestly, because of Cleveland's defense, I see the Browns getting this done again. I feel like this experience is going to take over. You know, the Browns haven't been in the playoffs since the 2020 season, but this is a great team. It's just them being on the road concerns me, but I feel like Flacco and his defense can get it done. The outstanding battle we're going to love to see is Myles Garrett versus Laramie Tunsil. The best of the best. Both arguably, you could argue that it's both top 5. I know Myles Garrett is darn sure top 5, but Laramie Tunsil, you could argue he's top 5 tackle in the league. That'll be a great matchup to watch. But all in all, just because of that defense and the experience at quarterback, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. But, hey, kudos to Houston for making it this far. All right, on to the next one. Tyreek Hill is making his return to Arrowhead as the Kansas City Chiefs will be hosting the Miami Dolphins. The weather is expected to be at least at 9 degrees for kickoff. This is going to be a cold game for both teams, but definitely for the Miami Dolphins. But who you got, bro?
Man, this game sound like Somerville 2018. If you know, you know. I ain't gonna go into depth, but if you from Ewan, you feel me? You know, Somerville 2018, bro.
That playoff game was crazy for y'all.
That's what it's giving right now, man. Playoffs. And I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in this one, man. Y'all already know how the Chiefs play at home. Yeah, the Eagles went there and beat them at home, but it was a tough game, and they probably would have lost if it wasn't for some drop passes. So y'all know the Chiefs come to play at home no matter who they playing against. And the Dolphins, I don't know if they're gonna be equipped for that weather, bro. I mean, I can see Tyreek Hill being equipped. He been there. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill.
He never been on 9 degrees though. He never been 9 degrees.
Yeah,
that could be different.
Right. I mean, but they did have some games on the road last year in Buffalo.
It was snowing.
In New York late, where it was cold. They played Buffalo in the snow. So, I mean, who knows what this team is really equipped for? I'm just going with the Chiefs because I'm not betting against Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
That's
not doing that, man. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Hey, 2 for 2, bro. I'm gonna go with KC in this one as well. Honestly, bro, as great as Tua has been in the regular season, these last handful of games, bro, I can't trust Miami. Besides that Dallas game, even the Dallas game that they won at home was very questionable. Miami, they're 1-5 against teams with winnable records. Again, this game is gonna be a terrible weather game. Miami is also injury riddled on defense. They lost 3 of their best pad rushers. Xavier Howard might not play. Let alone on offense, Jalen Waddle might not even play. So it's like Tyreek Hill is probably gonna be the main option. I mean, you still got A-Chain. I feel like Miami's gonna be run heavy this game. So Mike McDaniel get ready to scheme up some crazy motions and runs because that's probably what you're gonna be doing this game, unless Tua can get the ball efficiently in this weather. But honestly, the Chiefs' offense hasn't been up to par this year at all. They haven't. They've been pretty subpar. The numbers haven't been good for Mahomes. Kelsey didn't even hit 1,000 yards this year. The Chiefs' defense has really been the Chiefs' savior this year. Their defense has been surprisingly really good. And in the past, it was rely heavy on the offense, not too much on defense. But this year, it's been rely on the defense, not too much on offense. But I feel like Chiefs going to get away with this one. So I'm going to take the Kansas City at home. All right, on to the next one. We're moving to the Sunday's games. As the Pittsburgh Steelers, who snuck in the playoffs, they are the 7th seed. They're traveling to Buffalo, who is the 2nd seed, who won the AFC East. Who you got for this game?
I was torn with this game, bro, because Buffalo's been playing some good football lately, but so has the Steelers. They made it in for a reason, bro. Mason Rudolph came in there. He started throwing the ball, though. That's what they needed. What they needed was a pass game, bro. They had no pass game. They had no pass game. Mason Rudolph came in there and started throwing the ball. That's not giving me a reason to take them, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going with Buffalo. Buffalo, as everybody knows, Buffalo has something to prove. They have something to prove. I mean, it seemed like that Eagles loss really hurt them bad. I'm going to be honest. They haven't lost since then. They have not lost since they lost to the Eagles. The Eagles made them 6-6, and they finished the season 11-6. They have came out to play ever since then, and I can see it just rolling, bro. I can see it still rolling. Now, they do have a history of choking in the playoffs. They do have a history of that, but I'm going to be honest, bro. When the ball is rolling for a lot of teams, it's rolling. The Bills been rolling.
Hey, I'm just going to say, bro, I told y'all on the episode that TS2 was on as a guest, I told people Buffalo was going to sneak in and make the playoffs. None of y'all was confident. Y'all all had Buffalo missing the playoffs. Yes, me and Dennis did say that Buffalo was one of the most overrated teams going into 2023. At many points in the season, they have shown us that they are overrated. Even in that Miami game, they just won last Sunday night. Josh Allen had 3 turnovers himself. They still aren't that great of a team. They finished as the 2nd seed because Casey had a down year. I mean, let's be real. The Jags, they folded. They let Houston come back win the division. The AFC wasn't really that strong this year. Let's be honest. But Buffalo, please don't choke this game. You guys have a history of choking in the playoffs, just like Dennis said. But if it's one game you don't want to choke, it's against this Pittsburgh team who has been inconsistent this whole year. But they somehow snuck into the playoffs. But I'm going to take Buffalo at home. Dennis said, bro, they've been rallying late in the season. They won these last 6-7 games. And also, Pittsburgh's going to be without TJ Watt. He's not playing this game. He had a knee injury.
Yeah, he's not.
So definitely Buffalo just don't turn the ball over and get the run game going. And in Pittsburgh, honestly, I don't know what they can do, but there's some holes in that Buffalo defense. But honestly, I just don't see Pittsburgh winning this game.
Pittsburgh got to get their offense rolling. If they get their offense rolling, they're going to be straight.
I don't trust Mason Rudolph, bro. I'm sorry. With all due respect. They barely got in the playoffs. But, hey, kudos to Pittsburgh for getting here. Again, respect Mike Tomlin. Love him as head coach, but this Pittsburgh team basically barely snuck in. They got lucky, honestly, getting in. But I'm going to take Buffalo at home. All right, on to the evening Sunday game as Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, who also snuck in the playoffs in the NFC. They are the 7th seed. They are traveling to Jerry's World to face the number 2 seed, Dallas Cowboys. Who you got in this one?
Ooh, I want to take the Packers so bad. I want to take the Packers so bad because they got the Cowboys number in the playoffs. But the only reason I'm gonna take the Cowboys right now is because they're playing at home and they play like a Super Bowl caliber team when they're at home. That's just the truth. I mean, they play lights out when they're at home, especially on defense. For some reason, they just feed off of him. Dak gets like a little boost when he's at home for some reason. I don't know. This team on the road looks like a 5-5 team, but they look like a 10-0 team at home. So I gotta go with the Cowboys in this one. As much as it hurts to do that, and as much as I'm going to be screaming at that TV for the Packers to beat them, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys because it's just the more realistic thing, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, bro, if the Cowboys lose, every tree that's in Dallas, wherever Dino live at, Aston is gonna go piss on every Dallas tree out there.
Yo,
I'm telling
bro,
you.
it's facts. With the Eagles jersey on, my dog is gonna have the Eagles jersey on, and I'm gonna walk him right around the corner to AT&T Stadium, and he's gonna piss right on every tree in front of there too. Word.
Hey, that dog better be.
I swear to God, if y'all lose, bro, oh my God, bro, I'm painting my car green.
Hey, Dallas, y'all can't choke this one. But like Dennis did say, Dallas is a great team at home. It's just on the road. For some reason, they can't figure it out. The Packers have had a Cowboys number in the last 10 games that they faced together. The Packers are 9-1 against the Cowboys. Can Jordan Love and his young Packers team that snuck in get it done? They don't have a true number 1. I don't think Christian Watson's going to be playing this game. So you have to depend on those number 2, number 3, number 4 receivers.
He wasn't the number 1 anyway. Romeo Doubs is their number 1.
Now he is. But Watson definitely was the number 1 there. But definitely for Green Bay, rely on Aaron Jones, man. Last couple games he's been back. He's been running the ball really, really well, over 100 yards in the last handful of games. But honestly, I just don't trust the Packers on the road against this experienced Dallas team at home. So I'm going to take the Cowboys at home. The Cowboys have to play a great game, though. Expect this young Packers team to bring all they have to Jerry World. All right, on to our evening game for Sunday night. In the NFC, the Los Angeles Rams are traveling to Ford Field in Detroit to face Jared Goff and the Lions. Former quarterbacks are facing their former teams, as Goff used to play for the Rams and Stafford used to play for the Lions. These quarterbacks swapped teams in a trade a couple years ago. But who you got for this one?
I'm taking the Lions in this one at home, bro. This is going to be an offensive shootout in my eyes. But the Lions have been rolling offensively and defensively. I'm going to be honest with you. The Lions have looked like a great team. They are another Buffalo Bills in my eyes. They have been one of those teams that you could question how you rate them. They could be overrated. They have had shaky moments in the season where you sit there and be like, bro, how is this team even still competing? But they are at the end of the season 12-5, so they deserve it. And, you know, the Rams have been playing some good football too, especially offensively. I've been on them all year. Puka Nacua, man, he's been a baller. Set the rookie record that hasn't been set in 40 years for yards. I'm pretty sure he tied the reception one too that game. So, I mean, kudos to him. He's been a baller.
Been going crazy.
I'm going to love this game. I'm going to be honest. It's probably going to be one of my favorite games to watch this weekend. So, but I'm going with the Lions in this.
Not gonna lie, this game is gonna be good, honestly, just because of the headline. You have former quarterbacks returning to face their former teams. It's gonna be a crazy offensive game. I'm not gonna lie. Both defenses can be worrisome. So that's why this game can go down to whoever could put more points on the board offensively. The Rams have been hot as of late, and I told you guys, this Rams is a sneaky team. I said this all throughout the year.
Bro, we've been saying it, bro.
This Rams, McVay's gonna have these boys ready to play, and they somehow got in the playoffs as the 6th seed. Not the 7th, the 6th seed. Mm-hmm. They need to neutralize Aiden Hutchinson, and they need to run the rock with Kyron Williams. He's been great this year. So has Puka Nacua. Hopefully Cooper Kupp is playing this game. But Stafford has to play a good game as well. He's returning to Detroit. You know it's going to be loud in the Motor City. They have to play a good game. But if Aiden Hutchinson and his Lions defense get home against this mid-offensive line, it's going to be a slow game for the Rams. Also, the Lions' run game has to be a factor as well with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. They got to go crazy as a duo. Another key matchup to watch in this game is going to be Detroit receivers versus the Rams' young secondary, who I feel like Detroit has the upper hand in this one. But again, it's going to come down to whoever can play a turnover-free game and play good on offense. With that being said, I'm going to take the Rams in the upset. I feel like Stafford and these receivers are going to have a field day. I feel like Kyrie Williams is going to have a great game running the rock. Depends on if they can neutralize Aiden Hutchinson and play turnover-free football and play a good offense game. So McVay got to bring it. But, hey, Dan Campbell going to make it exciting. So we'll see. But I'm going to take the Rams in the upset on the road. All right, on to the last game for Wildcard Weekend on Monday night. We got Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, who have lost their last 5 out of 6. They're traveling to face Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles have beat the Buccaneers in Week 3, 25-11. Even in that win, the Eagles' offense has looked sloppy. The Eagles' team has looked sloppy. The Buccaneers have won the last 5 of 6, while the Eagles have lost the last 5 of 6. Honestly, this game can be a toss-up, but who you got for this one, bro?
You said toss-up. I'm about to flip the coin again on this game because I'm going to pick the Eagles, of course, because that's my team.
Uh-huh.
Y'all seen what happened Sunday. Y'all
that was bad. Sunday. That was so bad.
That last podcast, I told y'all I'm going to pick the Eagles, but I'm not confident. That's why I wasn't confident. Did y'all see what happened? That was the worst performance I've seen the Eagles do in years. I'm going to be honest with you. It was terrible. So, I mean, going to Tampa. So, I mean, who knows what this team is going to look like. But I'm going to go with them just because talent-wise, we just have more talent. We have damn near the most talented roster in the league. We could beat anybody with that talent. But if you see it hasn't been getting done, play call has been terrible. Defensively, it's been terrible. I mean, I could run a fade on anybody on that defense at this point. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. It's been looking bad. I'm not confident again in this, but I'm going with the Eagles.
Not even being biased, bro, but I'm going to go with the Eagles as well. Not because I'm a fan. This game can be worrisome. Philadelphia's play has been very, very concerning offensively and defensively. Honestly, they haven't been playing great. Special teams has been their only kind of consistent play this year. Tampa Bay, again, like I said earlier, they won the last 5 of 6, but last week we saw them only beat the freaking Carolina Panthers 9-0 to win their division.
That's a fact.
But whoever can play turnover-free football and their secondary can show up, and whoever gets the run game going more, that's who's going to come out to win this game. And I feel like the Eagles, they can finally wake up, get DeAndre Swift going. Hopefully, A.J. Brown's playing. Hopefully, Smitty's playing. Hopefully, the Eagles get Darius Slay back as well. But if Eagles can't do none of that, bro, Baker and the Bucks and these Bucks receivers, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, they're going to tear the Eagles secondary up. So, hey, let's see. But I got the Eagles winning this one, but this game is definitely a toss-up. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for our Super Wildcard Weekend picks. Let us know your picks in the comment section. Let us know any upsets or surprises you got going on. Give us your thoughts and opinions on this upcoming Wildcard Weekend. Make sure you guys are tuned in on Fox, CBS, Peacock, and ESPN. All right, on to the next topic. Let's talk about the most recent NFL head coaching firings as the season has concluded. We saw a handful of head coaches being fired, including the most important, Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. But hey, Dino, let's talk about it, bro.
Belichick is the biggest one, I'm going to be honest, just because of his success that he's been there for, what, 24 years?
24 years.
His success, and we can sit there and just say that his success was all from Brady. I mean, it showed the last couple of years he hasn't done anything without Brady. But I'm not going to shy away from him being a good coach. He is definitely one of the best defensive mind coaches in the league, of course. Ever to really coach the game in my eyes. So he was the biggest one that really hit. I was like, damn, this really happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of jobs opening up for him. A lot of people saying that he's going to, maybe get into a different type of role for the Cowboys. There's been a lot of speculations. We know that the Raiders' job is open because they fired Josh McDaniels. The Panthers fired Coach Rich, whatever his first name
Coach
is.
Reich, Frank Reich.
Right. Rich Reich. Yeah, he was trash, terrible. Arthur Smith got fired for the Falcons. He should have been got fired. Brandon Staley, the LA job is open. The Chargers job is open. Ron Rivera got fired. The Washington job is open. It's a lot of spots for him to land. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard for me to say who's going to land where, especially with some other college coaches and everything else that's supposed to be coming up to the league, supposedly to take some of them spots. So it's hard to really say what any of these coaches are actually going to land. But I want to see where a lot of them, what coaches get upgrades and everything else. We've seen the shittiest OC, Brian Johnson, get a interview with the Panthers for a
And the
head coach. I don't
Titans.
know why anybody would want to hire that man I don't even want him as a coordinator. Why would you want him as a head coach? I mean, that one was crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't
That
really
was
think the
mad
Panthers
crazy.
want to win. I don't think the Panthers want to win. I don't think they see themselves winning. So, I mean, I really don't know, man. But Bill Belichick, man, I will give him his kudos. 6 rings with the organization, most in the league right now. I'm pretty sure he's most ever by a coach. They don't think any other coach has 6 rings. Everybody can say it was Brady. Yes, a lot of it was Brady, but you got to give the man his props. You got to give the man his props. His defense saved Brady a lot of times, to be real.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. 100%. Yeah, man, honestly, bro, these recent coach firings aren't really that surprising. I'm not going to lie. Like, let's kick it off. We saw Brandon Staley get fired during the season. We saw Josh McDaniels get fired during the season. I'm happy those 2 guys got fired. I couldn't stand them. One guy I'm surprised is still there is Kevin O'Connell for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm surprised.
Well, he had a lot of injuries.
Not. He did, but I feel like next year, if O'Connell's not doing that great with his Vikings team, bro, he's out of there.
Yeah,
I feel like there's not much success.
They got a lot of talent.
Exactly.
And some draft capital.
Exactly. He's made the playoffs before, but this year, due to injuries, was bad. But even without the injuries, the execution was just bad on that team. A recent coach fired I'm really surprised about is Mike Vrabel. Now, I've talked about Mike Vrabel in the past. He has took the Titans to the playoffs a couple times, especially, I mean, you remember, they made the 1 seed in the AFC in 2021. The Tennessee Titans with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback made the 1 seed.
They did.
This firing by the Titans, in what way was it Mike Vrabel's fault? I feel like the Titans organization has definitely went downhill since trading A.J. Brown. Like, the Titans just can't get it right, bro. Traylon Burks hasn't panned out that well. Their other draft picks hasn't
panned out at all.
Malik Willis as well at quarterback. I mean, I feel like they need to get Will Levis some help because Derrick Henry might be out of here soon. I mean, he just played his last game for the Titans on Sunday.
He confirmed that was his last game. He's not going.
It's over. So
I don't think it even matters how much money they offer him. He's not coming back.
Yeah, he's tired of losing. So that was one that surprised me. Ron Rivera for the Commanders, I kind of saw this coming. Rivera hasn't really been that successful as a Commanders head coach. I mean, besides the division title in 2020, but that was a weak division title. That wasn't nothing. That was during the COVID year. So I kind of expected that to be happening. Arthur Smith for Atlanta Falcons. I mean, hey, you go 7-10 3 years in a row. You don't know how to utilize your best offensively talented weapons like Bijan, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. Those are your 3 best players. You don't know how to utilize them. Your defense and your kicker had to be the saviors of this season for the Atlanta Falcons. If it wasn't for Young Woku, the Falcons wouldn't even have 7 wins. So let's just put that out there right now. He saved a lot of them from a lot of those games. But hey,
can I say one thing too? Can I say one thing too?
Of course.
I want everybody to know this for real because I've gotten to a little disputes about this. Parting ways means he got fired.
Yeah,
okay?
That means you got fired.
I don't want to hear, they mutual. No,
it was mutual.
Parted ways just to make it sound good. He got fired.
He got fired.
It's over with. Like, he's done. That doesn't mean like, yeah, they just came to an agreement. No. Coming to an agreement means he's retiring. That's what it means. He got fired, my boy.
Pretty much.
That's what it is. They got fired. All of them. Bill, fired. Mike Ravel, fired. I should know his name. He was Ohio State coach. But fired. Arthur Smith, he got fired, bro. They didn't partially, mutually, nothing. He got fired. Sorry, yeah. I just had to clear that up because there's a lot of people that don't be knowing that.
No, you're not wrong, bro. But about Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll, he's been the head coach of Seattle since 2008. A lot of winning seasons there, a lot of Super Bowl. He could have had 2 Super Bowls, but, he agreed to let Russell Wilson throw the ball at the 2-yard line instead of running it with Marshawn Lynch. But the last couple of years for Seattle has been pretty sour as well. So, it was pretty much time for Pete Carroll to step down as head coach. He was the oldest head coach in the NFL. He was 72 years old. So, I think he's definitely going to find a home somewhere else. And top it all off.
That old?
Yeah, he's 72. He's older than Belichick. And to top it all off, man, Bill Belichick, 24 seasons in New England. He's up out of there. The last couple years for New England has been sour. They did make the playoffs in 2021, but they got smacked by Buffalo in the first round. Bill Belichick is 84 and 103 without Tom Brady. So, he's only made the playoffs once, like I just said. He went 4-13 this past year. He had a lot of injuries to the team. Personnel just wasn't good for the team. But honestly, Belichick, who knows where he's going to go next? I feel like Belichick can either go to the Chargers or the Raiders. Or some team with a good defense like the Commanders. Any team that Belichick goes to, he's going to revamp that team and take over things and make it the Belichick way. You know how he is. It's Belichick way or the highway. But Belichick could take a team with not that good personnel and make a mesh. But The last handful of years for New England hasn't been that. So it was kind of right for the Patriots going that direction as well after a long 2 decades of being with that team.
Yeah, for sure.
But ladies and gentlemen, give us your thoughts in the comment section about these recent head coach firings. Which coach firings surprised you? Which ones didn't? Also, give us your thoughts on where y'all think these new head coaches are going to land in a new home. Y'all think they're going to be head coaches still? You guys think they're going to end up being coordinators or general management team? All right, on to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen. The college football national championship has ended in Houston, Texas. We saw the Michigan Wolverines defeat the Washington Huskies 34-13. Blake Corum was your MVP of the game. He went sicko. But hey, we're gonna give you guys our reactions and thoughts about the Natty.
First off, congrats to Michigan. As an Ohio State fan, you know, I'm always hate to say that. But congrats to Michigan. Of course, congrats to little bro, Zach Marshall, number 83. My boy's a freshman, true freshman, tight end. You know, he didn't really get too much time as a true freshman. But my boy did travel. He was on that sideline for both bowl games and all. So definitely kudos to my boy, man, getting a national championship ring as a freshman, bro. I'm so happy for you, man. I can't wait to see what else you do there. But on to the game. For the first half of the game, you pretty much just seen domination from Michigan. You've seen Michigan football, what they've been doing all year, stuffing teams on defense and running down people's throat. Pause. But running down people's throat for real, because that's pretty much what they did, bro. If you look, I mean, first, Donovan Edwards, bro, came in as a backup, actually as the third back. He didn't even come in as a second back. He came in as a third back. They gave him the ball 2 times. He scored twice and got 89 yards out of that. I mean, if you ask me, he ended the game with 6 carries for 104 and 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry. I might have gave him MVP. I'm going to be honest with you. Without him breaking out them 2 big runs, we don't know what this game would have been because Michigan didn't score again till the fourth quarter.
Over Blake Corum, who had 21 carries for 134 and 2 tutties?
I mean, yeah, but he had 4 times more carries than.
I understand that. You're not wrong.
You know what I'm saying? What happens if you gave Donovan Edwards 21 carries?
Oh, he gonna do damage too. I'm already knowing.
But he would have had over 200 yards.
I'm already knowing.
Like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm gonna definitely say I'm not gonna say Blake Corum don't deserve it. He 100% deserved that. But I'm gonna be truly true with it, bro. I probably would have given it to Donovan Edwards, especially if he would have got more carries. But Blake Corum had a hell of a game. He played good, man. His touchdown runs was needed at the right times too. So he played great. He definitely deserved it too. I want to talk more about JJ McCarthy because a lot of people saying that if Jim Harbaugh goes to the league, that JJ McCarthy is going to enter the draft because, you know, Jim Harbaugh is going to come get him. But here's the thing. JJ McCarthy gets a lot of rave. I'm not the biggest fan, and I'm not going to say I'm not the biggest fan just because, like, anything that has to do with him being a player at all, it really just has to do with the offense that he's in.
I don't think he's that good. I don't think JJ McCarthy's that good.
I think he's good. I think he has the potential to be good.
I don't think he's that good, bro.
But here's the thing. I think he has the potential to be good. Because he doesn't have to show his athleticism, he doesn't really have to throw the ball. I feel like that's the reason why you don't really see it. You got to put respect on his name, though. The guy only has 1 loss in college. Now, I'm not saying that you're not. I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm saying in general, anybody who has a problem, they have to really put respect on his name, man. He has 1 loss in college, and it's hard to do. So I'm definitely going to always say that about him, but I just wish he was on offense where he could showcase his talents more, throw the ball more. I mean, he threw the ball 18 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, what top quarterback is really doing that nowadays, especially once it's trying to go to the NFL? He's not going to end up on any draft stock with the offense that he's on, and it sucks to say. You know what I mean? True. So, I mean, I wanted to break that down with Michigan, but going to Washington, bro, Washington had every chance in the world to get back in this game, and honestly, every chance in the world to win this game. And it was just straight missed opportunities on every single drive. It was a missed opportunity. Big play.
100%
you got
true.
Rome. You got
100% true.
Late in the game, you got Roman Dunze who gets a 40-yard catch and it gets called back. You had early in the game where Rome was supposed to run a corner route, which I feel like was definitely what he was supposed to run, was a corner route. Michael Penix puts it on the spot and he drops it. I mean, all these missed opportunities, bro, it was bad. I'm not going to say Michael Penix paid the best either. I mean, he threw the ball 51 times. That's why he has 255 yards passing. But he still had 2 bad picks, especially when you throw it. You coming out, you just scored. You're coming out of halftime with the ball, You don't throw a pick on the first freaking play, bro. You don't force the ball like that. Like come on, bro. You're another one that's supposed to be a top pick in the draft. You're supposed to be going somewhere. You're supposed to show some NFL talent. That's not something you want to show to these coaches. You don't want to show that, man. That just didn't look good. I will give my hats off to him because he was getting banged up. He was getting smacked around by that defense,
Penix was
bro. But he
getting.
was fighting.
Woo.
He was
He
fighting.
was fighting
I
through it
will give
though.
him,
He was fighting through it. He a
he
tough one.
was. He was fighting that whole game, bro. I will give my hats off to Dylan Johnson too. He came in the game with a foot injury, and he didn't ball out. He didn't ball out. He only had 11
30,
carries for
like
33 yards. But I
33.
will
Yeah.
I will always give him them kudos for fighting through that injury, man. If you ever had a foot
100%.
injury in general, you know how hard it is to actually play through a foot injury. I'm not gonna lie. You can play through an arm injury or even a slight pull on a hamstring, like a strained hamstring. You can limp around on that. But a foot injury is tough, man. That's tough. Like, that's not an ankle, nothing. That's your actual foot. Every time you put pressure down, that hurts more. So, I mean, I will give the kudos for that. But, I mean, if you ask me, the score really doesn't show the game. It looks like a blowout, but the score really does not show the game. I'm sorry. Michigan didn't score a damn point until the fourth quarter. They got out the gates fast in the first quarter. Then they stalled out every single drive until the fourth quarter. And it was mainly because the way I see it is Washington's defense got gassed. You can't keep the defense out on the field for that long, bro. Like, Washington didn't do nothing on offense. They kept stalling. It would be big play, punt. Big play, punt. Every drive. It didn't work. That's not something that's going to work out.
I mean, I picked Michigan to win this game. I picked them. I feel like their defense and the run game was just going to be too much. I said this before. Washington's receivers against Michigan's defense, and Michigan's defense definitely showed up. First, let's talk about the defensive line. They gave the Washington O-line fits all game long. You mentioned Dylan Johnson only had 33 yards rushing. He was playing on a foot injury, but he couldn't get nothing going regardless. Michigan's front seven was ready for everything. They were sending different blitzes, stunts, gap schemes at Penix, and he was getting battered and beat up all night by this front seven. The D-line went crazy. The secondary for Michigan showed up against the receivers of Washington. I said that was going to be a great matchup to watch, and Michigan came in and they did their thing. I'm not going to lie. You know, Michigan, they came out, they got hot early. You mentioned Donovan Edwards, 2 touchdowns to give Michigan a 14-0 lead. That was crazy by him. That was kind of unexpected. He actually broke championship records. He broke rushing records that game just off of his 2 touchdowns and his long runs. But also, bro, please put respect on Blake Corum, bro. He won the MVP rightfully. He was gashing this Washington defense as well. The Washington defense that we know wasn't really that good throughout the season. We've saw them in games that was very questionable that they did win. But Michigan, hats off to them. I give this win to Michigan mainly because of their defense in the run game. JJ McCarthy, I do give him respect. But I just don't think he's that good. I really just don't think he's that good. But hey, I think he's a scheme player. We'll see when he gets to the NFL, though. It might take a little bit. But those flashes and glimpses you guys are seeing, I just don't really see it too much. I just don't. But I do respect JJ McCarthy. He had a hell of a run. On to Washington, dog. Like, a lot of big plays that they could have had, it was taken away by penalties and just execution. And the defense of Michigan kept getting the Penix. They didn't have enough time. The receivers couldn't get open. The D-line, like I said, the D-line was getting to Penix like it was nothing.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. The receivers, they did. I did see some plays where they got strapped up.
They did. That's what I'm saying.
But they was getting open. I'm not gonna say they wasn't getting open.
A lot of times, I'm sorry, I couldn't really tell. Not gonna lie, but
I said, bro, it was a bunch of missed opportunities.
That's true. Because the defense of Michigan, though, you gotta give it credit.
Mm-hmm.
The defense of Michigan, you got to give them credit, bro. There was a lot of missed plays out there, but Washington, they shot themselves in the foot too much. They definitely brought the game back close, like Dennis said, but Michigan definitely pulled away in the fourth quarter with turnovers and getting an end zone for one last time to put the cherry on top for this game. So all in all, big ups to Michigan for winning the Natty. They rightfully deserved it as they came out and they played great defensively and offense with the run game. Washington just left too much out there. They had a lot of missed opportunities, but hey, we'll see what's in the future for both of these teams. As Michigan, you know, they always reloading. But also, what's in the future for the head coach of Michigan, Jim Harbaugh? Is he going to come back to Michigan for another year, or is he going to leave for the NFL? That question's up in the air. Hopefully, he gives us a topic for him to talk about, whether he's staying or leaving. But hey, we'll see. Again, kudos to Michigan for winning the Natty. They're your guys' 2023 season college football national champions. Give us your thoughts and opinions about the Michigan versus Washington game. What do you guys think went wrong for Washington? What do you guys think went right for Michigan? Is J.J. McCarthy actually a good quarterback, or is he just a scheme player? Is Jim Harbaugh leaving Michigan for the NFL? Give us your opinion on who y'all think should have won the MVP for the game. Should it have been Donovan Edwards or Blake Corum? I think it's Blake Corum. Dino think it's Donovan Edwards, but hey, give us your thoughts and opinions down below.
I'm gonna give it to Blake Corum for sure. I'm gonna give it to Blake Corum for sure. But I'm only reason I'm saying Donovan Edwards, period, is just because, bro, if he would have got 24 carries, bro, he would have had over 200 yards. I bet you.
No, you're not wrong.
He's been underused.
You're not wrong.
He had 2 carries to the fourth quarter. After he scored them 2 touchdowns, he did not touch the field to the fourth quarter.
That's true. Hey, that's omission coaching for not knowing how to utilize their personnel. I would have kept going with the hot hand, but hey.
Yeah,
I'm not down there on the sideline. But all in all, ladies and gentlemen, leave that in the comment section below. Sticking with college football, though, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about head coach Nick Saban. He has stepped down as an Alabama head coach, arguably the greatest college football coach of all time. His retirement came out of nowhere on Wednesday. Nick Saban thought it was just right for health reasons for him to step down as a head coach. Nick Saban, 7 rings. He won 6 at Alabama, 1 while he's at LSU. Hey, Dino, what's your thoughts and opinions about Nick Saban stepping down as an Alabama head coach and going into retirement?
Bro, it was something I did not see coming at all. I did see a post about Saban a couple days ago before this. A couple days ago, one of his players literally said he's probably gonna coach for the rest of his life. He's never gonna stop coaching.
Yep.
Like, bro, I did not see that, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen a lot of posts on Twitter. Recruits is heartbroken. A lot of them, they want to play. You've seen the decommits he got as soon as he chose to retire. So, like,
the number 9 recruit stepped down already.
That was a shocker, bro. That was a shocker. I really want to talk about what's next for college football now, really, because, I mean, looking at it, college football has ran through Alabama for the last 20 years since he's been there. 17 years he's been there, and college football has pretty much ran through them. It hasn't been much years where Alabama wasn't in the conversation for any type of national championship when it was the BCS era.
That's a fact.
And the playoffs. It hasn't been many years. It has not been many years. The only years that it's been like that is when they got upset in the Iron Bowl by Auburn in the last year of the BCS. What other years? I can't even think of none, bro. There's no other coaches that's another thing too. Who plans on taking that job?
That was my question. I want to know
who plans on taking that job, because you're going to win. If you win less than 12 games, you're getting fired. I promise.
That's a fact.
If you win less than 12, you're getting fired. Like, there's coaches out here that are having their job saved just off the simple fact that they're winning 10 games a season. I.e., Ryan Day. Say it all the time. Ryan Day probably should be fired. Why? Because the standard was beat Michigan and you haven't done it. Sorry, I don't care how many games you win. The standards beat some. If it's a standard, it's a standard. That's what people want. People don't want it a standard. And the standard in Alabama is winning 12 games a season, going to the SEC championship, and competing for a national championship every year. That's the standard. So when you don't get that, you're going to get fired. I'm sorry. So I don't know who plans on taking this job. I can tell you right now, there's other teams in the SEC that is overly hyped. I know Auburn's one of them.
Georgia's definitely one of them.
I mean, not even just Auburn. I'm gonna be honest.
Georgia.
Teams in other Georgia
definitely hyped. LSU,
Texas, Oklahoma.
They ones that's coming to the SEC. They're hyped for sure.
Every school, it's not even just them too. There's other schools like Colorado that's hyped. Why? Because they have a great transfer portal team. The first ones who they're gonna try to snatch up. Y'all know there's gonna be hella players that's gonna hit the portal. They have 30 days to hit that portal. And I promise you half of the team is going to do that. The only ones that's not going to hit the portal, I think, are the ones that don't play. I'm going to be honest. Because now they're probably thinking, like, yeah, I'll finally get an opportunity to play at Alabama. Like, I'm taking it. But who knows if Jalen Milroe's even going to stay, bro? Depending on who they hire, who knows if Jalen Milroe's going to stay? He might declare. Shoot. He might try to leave. Who knows? They got the best quarterback in the nation and Julian Saying that's coming in. Who knows if he even still wants to go there? Like, man, it shakes up so much now, bro. You never would think that one coach retiring would shake up so much in the nation. Like, it's nuts.
That's how much of an impact that Nick Saban has had on college football. I mean, let's be real. He's had Alabama as a powerhouse. Argue with the wall or argue with your mama. Saban has had Alabama as a powerhouse since 2008. Darn near every year, except for this year, this past football season, Alabama has been ranked number 1. He hasn't had no losing seasons. He's won at least 10 or more games every year. He's had them in the Natty multiple times. Like I said, he has 6 rings at Alabama. I mean, he had a sour loss at the Rose Bowl this past year against Michigan, but Nick Saban definitely went out with a bang. 100%. Like Dennis said, I agree with him. This is going to shake up college football big time. You talk about these schools coming over to the SEC, like Texas, Oklahoma, and other schools as well. They are geeked because now, one, it opens up recruitment. A lot of these recruits aren't going to want to go to Alabama no more because everybody was going to Alabama for Nick Saban. Let's be real. Also, just going to shake up college football. And let's be real. Who's going to dominate the SEC now? Like, there's no threat with Alabama no more. Honestly, it's going to come down to LSU, your Georgia,
what?
Oklahoma.
Georgia's about to be the new Bama.
Texas. Yeah, Georgia's about to be the next Bama. Let's see if Kirby Smart
Unless
is going to stay at Georgia.
Unless something happened to Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart has now taken the reign as the number 1 coach in the nation.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Without a doubt. But Nick Saban retiring out of nowhere on Wednesday definitely shakes up the college football world. A lot of people were shocked. Honestly, bro, the number 9 recruit just decommitted from Alabama after Nick Saban retired. He was out of here. So this is definitely going to shake up recruitment. But expect a lot of these recruits that were going to go to Bama to honestly decommit and go somewhere else or flip their commitment.
Facts.
Like, let's be real. Julian's saying the number 1 quarterback in the nation. Who knows if he's going to stay at Bama? You bring up Jalen Milroe. Who knows if he's going to stay?
I'm sorry to tell y'all, bro, but Julian saying I've caught passes from him since he was in 8th grade. That is a generational arm talent right there. I can promise y'all that. And he can go anywhere in the country. So I know for a fact he went there for Saban.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So
I could see him in the living room right now with his family probably talking about that. Like,
yeah, they all talk about it. Everybody's talking about it.
I don't know if he's gonna stay. He probably end up going to USC or something.
Every top recruit that was going to go to Bama or have Bama as a top choice is talking to their parents right now about whether they should stay at Bama or go. And honestly, depend on if they stay or not, it's gonna depend on who's gonna be the next head coach at Alabama. These are some big shoes to freaking fill. Filling in for head coach Nick Saban.
The biggest.
Exactly. So we already know it's not going to be Dan Lanning, as Dan Lanning already announced early on Thursday that he's staying at Oregon. So names that come to mind: Steve Sarkisian, head coach at Texas. He was Nick Saban's offensive coordinator at Bama in the past. Another former coach that was under Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin, the current head coach at Ole Miss. Mike Norvell, Dabo Swinney from Clemson, Jonathan Franklin from Penn State. Who knows?
I think if Bama's smart, they keep it in-house.
Maybe.
If they want to keep the culture, they keep it in-house.
That's true. If you don't want to, you know what? Actually, I agree with that. If you want to bring in a different type of mindset and culture from a different program and let it permeate through your players, what they have not been used to with Nick Saban, it can impact the program.
That's the only reason Ryan Day got his spot at Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. That's facts.
They wanted the same type of recruiting. They wanted the same type of development. They wanted the same mindset that Urban Meyer had while he was there. So they was like, let's make his OC the head coach because he's going to bring the same thing.
That's facts. You're not wrong. You're 100% right. But these are some big shoes to fill. But honestly, I don't know who's going to be next head coach because pick a head coach from somewhere else. That means that coach vacancy is now open. It's going to just be a continuous effect. And it's like, bro.
It's a loop.
It's a loop. So this Nick Saban retiring, honestly, just threw a wrench in so much recruitment, the SEC, everything. It has shaken up everything like a bag of chips. But who knows what's going to happen? What is the future for Alabama? No one knows as of right now. But honestly, Nick Saban, congrats on a hell of a career. You did your thing for Alabama, and I'm happy that you're helping Alabama look for their next head coach as you step down. Much blessing to you and your wife, Miss Terry, as you guys live the rest of your lives, either living in Alabama or your house in Florida. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think about Nick Saban's retirement. Let us know if it shocked you or not. Let us know if you guys seen it coming. Also, let us know how you guys think is going to shake up recruitment, the SEC. Also, who's going to be next head coach for Alabama. We want to hear all that in the comment section below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on to the last topic of the night. We'll move on to the NBA. It's about Memphis Grizzlies point guard Ja Morant. He has been sidelined for the rest of the year due to a torn labrum in his shoulder. This honestly is heartbreaking for the Grizzlies as they already are a horrible team as of right now. They're second to last in the West. Ja just came back from his long suspension for his off-season activities that were deemed unacceptable by the NBA, which they were. But Ja will just come back, getting in the groove, and then he comes back and tears his labrum after only being back for a couple games. This is just like kind of unlucky. But my thoughts and opinions about Ja's injuries and the future of the Grizzlies are kind of cooked, bro. They're not going to sniff the playoffs. They're not even going to sniff a play-in spot, with all due respect. I don't know what Coach Jenkins is going to do with this team, but honestly, their best bet is to just win as much games as they can and try to fight for a play-in spot, but I doubt it's going to happen. The West isn't already looking good at all. The Grizzlies are second to last in the West, as I said earlier. The Grizzlies aren't doing that great as it is. So, like, what more do you want to set expectation-wise on this team? They have been very, very underwhelming. I mean, we know Ja was suspended for all those games. That's why they have been bad. But now they lose him again. So I think it's just going to keep imploding, getting worse. The team just doesn't look great. They don't look like they're firing on all cylinders. I don't know what's up with the Grizzlies this year, but they aren't who they were last year. Obviously, Ja missed the games, like I said earlier, but this sucks for Ja. Honestly, I feel like after suspension, he cleared his head. He came back. He was going crazy. His first game back, he hit a game winner. We was raving about that. So it's like, bro, honestly, for the Grizzlies, just throw this whole season away. It's kind of cooked. It's over with. But, hey, Ja, get that shoulder right. Rest up. I'm happy you had a successful surgery today on Thursday. But, hey, just get in rehab as fast as you can. Get that shoulder right so you can be back for the 2024 NBA season next year.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, like them moving forward, bro, even before then, it was just bad. That was the whole thing about it. That was the thing with me. Like, even when he came back, they still lost 9 of the last 15. I mean, so when you look at that, yeah, they're not sniffing a playoff picture at all. They're not even going to be in the picture at all. Even without him, they lost it. They won it last 2 without him. So, I mean, that's a good thing. But other than that, it doesn't really look too good for this team. I just don't feel like they have enough firepower outside of him. I mean, Desmond Bain has been picking up. Desmond Bain picked up a lot for him not being there. Even when he was there, Desmond Bain was doing his thing. He dropped 49 in one game. So, Desmond Bain has been picking up. Jaren Jackson, I mean, they're not terrible. They have a solid squad. I just don't know why they don't work together. It might just be more of their
it's just
bench.
not this year. It's just for some reason it's just off. Like it's just off.
It's
I don't know why. It's just
bro.
off.
Watching them play, it just doesn't really look like they're playing naturally. I'm gonna be honest with you. It feels like it's forced. You know what I mean? But they do have some playmakers. Their bench really isn't the best. But they, like I said, they have playmakers to do something. They need their number one. Their number one, he's out for the season. The only good part about that is that like he's looking at being healthy for 2025 season. He will be fully healthy and ready to come back. And I feel like at this point, that's what you got to look at because we're a couple weeks from All-Star Weekend and it's not really looking too good for him. So, man, it's a bummer, bro. It's a bummer, especially when he was just getting his groove. He was coming back. He was going crazy.
Yeah.
And that sucks, bro. It really sucks.
It does
I know
suck.
he probably feeling it mentally. Always pray for these
bro.
guys' mental health. It's not something that gets talked about enough because mentally, he's probably shot. He's shot mentally right now, bro.
Yeah.
You just came back from a 20-game suspension. You trying to do right, trying to stay out of trouble, trying to get everything right after being slandered, after hearing the worst about yourself for this last, 5-6 months, even probably longer than that. It's been looking bad since then, man. Probably in the last year, it's been looking bad for him, bro. He came back, got into the groove, and then got hurt out for the season, bro. Pray for that man's mental health, for real.
Yeah. I mean, hey, 9 games back, Ja Morant, he's averaging 25 a game. But like you said, Desmond Bain, I mean, I rated Desmond Bain as a top 10 shooting guard, in my opinion. I think he still is a top 10 shooting guard. Desmond Bain is averaging almost 25 a game, but he needs more help. Jaren Jackson is averaging 21 a game and almost 6 rebounds. Marcus Smart, he's averaging 14 a game. But this team, it's just, they're not clicking for some reason. I want to see more out of Derrick Rose and other supporting players like Aldama. He's averaging 10 points a game, but I just can't figure out what's wrong. I can't put my finger on what's wrong with the Grizzlies this year. I don't know. I just don't see that same spark in Memphis. But this injury to Ja definitely sucks. I know it sucks for this team. It sucks for the city. But for the Grizzlies, just chalk the season up as an L and just get ready for 2024, man. Unless you guys can find a way to fight hard and sneak into a play-in spot. But that's going to be really tough as the West is kind of shaky right now. But we know how the second half of the season turns up after All-Star break. So let's see if the Grizzlies can do it. I don't see them
doing it. They're not even
going
to make it past the play-in tournament, bro. If they do, they're not going to make it past that.
They not.
It gets shiesty then. They don't got much of a shiesty team for that.
Yeah, they be thinking they shiesty, though. It's like, nah. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 40 of Before the Horn podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for whatever platform you guys are watching or listening to us on. We appreciate all the support. Keep running these numbers up. Content will be coming soon as well. Make sure you guys follow us on all our socials. On Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast, and on Twitter and TikTok at Before the Horn Podcast. Again, we appreciate all the support you guys have been giving to us, and we're going to keep bringing it back and posting these videos and content for y'all to see.
Yes, sir. And as y'all know, the biggest way to come support us through Patreon, man. We are regular guys just working regular 9 to 5s. Take out of our free time to do this, bring this content to y'all, stuff that we love to talk about and stuff that you guys love to hear. So please come support us on our Patreon, man. Our Patreon comes with a bunch of perks, a bunch of benefits. On top of just being able to talk to us personally and being able to interact with us personally, argue, talk, whatever which way you want to talk about it. That's how you could do on Patreon. On top of that, our shirts will be in soon. They are coming. They're in the making already. We already got designs out and everything. They will be coming. So if you guys want a chance to get some free shirts, Patreon is the best way to go. On top of discounts on shirts, Patreon is the best way to go. That helps us out the best. But as y'all know, we appreciate any type of support you guys bring us.
Again, guys, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, as well as follow us on our personal Instagrams. They are on the screen, as well as in the description box. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 40 of Before the Horn podcast. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you guys for all your support. We shall see you guys next time. Peace.